Time of year to get out and enjoy the sights and sounds of nature, like grabbing binoculars and going bird watching. Well, for the first time this year, there's a little competition in Nebraska, encouraging celebration of Nebraska Bird Month. 6 News' Brent Weber shows us how you can head to nature and enjoy Nebraska's Bird Bowl.
Birding, bird watching, not exactly an adrenaline sport. The most difficult sightings are gone in a flash of feathers. Others almost strut their stuff.
You see it?
In Nebraska, you can see roughly 460 species of birds, and 95 of those are what Ron Caesar calls vagrants. He remembers being one-upped after one of his rarest of sightings.
I said, no, what did you guys find? They found a taiga bean goose, which belongs in like Asia. It is totally in the wrong continent. And so our ferruginous hawk kind of got put on the burner, on the back burner. But that's just kind of what happens periodically. Some sightings are very unusual, and people do travel for miles and miles to see them.
On a birdwatching visit to Heron Haven in Omaha, the biologist and ecologist said one person can make a difference.
A lady, Ione Worthman, who was president of the Audubon Society, then kind of made this her puppy. She really worked hard, as other people did along with Ione, to see that this area was protected. And it happened, and here we are.
So I'm just going to go and set up in different places and get the camera out and have a look for some birds.
Matthew Little from Scotland is a self-professed keen birder, a PhD student at Iowa studying ecological restoration. He was taking time out from field research at Hitchcock Nature Center to enjoy one of his outdoor hobbies.
Are you still looking?
I've never seen so many red-headed woodpeckers all in the same place. We were just driving around, not really doing any directed birding, and I must have seen at least 5 or 6.
The Nebraska Bird Bowl is a fun opportunity to keep track of what you see in the state. Ron prefers the old-fashioned way of identifying. And for those who do bring their smartphone along, there are companion birding apps.
I mean, birds are not just beautiful to look at, but they're important in controlling populations, like predator birds, could be like eagles and hawks. They're important pollinators, like ruby-throated hummingbirds that come in and pollinate flowers. They're important to us in science as biomonitors.
Celebrating Nebraska's Bird Month, Brent Weber, 6 News.
The Bird Bowl doesn't cost anything to enter, and it's for all ages and levels of expertise.